Namaste, and welcome to our channel. Today, we are diving into the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, known as Karma Yoga, the yoga of action. In this chapter, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna the profound principle of nishkam karma, performing one's duty without attachment to the results. This chapter teaches us that true yoga is not about escaping action, but understanding it and performing it with wisdom, dedication, and selflessness. To do our duty without selfish desire. That is the very essence of karma yoga. So let's explore these divine teachings of Sri Krishna and discover the true meaning of action and how it can lead our life towards balance, purpose, and inner peace. In this chapter, the necessity of performing prescribed actions, as ordained by various reasons, is firmly established. It is clearly explained how every individual should perform the duties prescribed for their respective varna, caste, and ashram stage of life. Why they should do so, what harm lies in not performing them, what benefits are gained from performing them, which actions are binding, and which actions aid in liberation. Thus, in this chapter, the subject of karma yoga is elaborated in much greater detail compared to other chapters. Other topics are included only to a very limited extent, and even that inclusion is very brief. Therefore, this chapter is titled Karma Yoga. Context: due to taking the word buddhi, intellect, to mean knowledge, Arjuna became confused. In the words of the Lord, he perceived that knowledge was being praised more than action. As a result, those words did not appear clear to him and seemed mixed or inconsistent. Hence, seeking clarification from the Lord and wishing to understand the definitive path that would lead to his highest welfare, Arjuna asks. Arjuna said, "O Janardana, if you consider knowledge superior to action, then why, O Keshava, do you engage me in this dreadful action? By your seemingly conflicting words, you are bewildering my understanding. Therefore, please speak one definite conclusion by which I may attain true welfare." The blessed Lord said, "O sinless one, in this world, I have previously spoken of the paths of steadfast devotion. For the followers of the Sankhya, the path of knowledge, it is through Jnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge, and for the yogis, those inclined to action, it is through Karma Yoga, the yoga of action. A person does not attain the state of actionlessness, i.e., yoga-based realization, simply by renouncing all actions, nor does he achieve perfection, Sankhya realization, merely by abandoning action. Undoubtedly, no human being can remain, even for a moment, without performing action, because all living beings are compelled to act, being driven by the qualities born of nature. He who, with a deluded intellect, forcibly restrains all the senses from outside but mentally dwells on sense objects. Such a person is called a hypocrite, a pretender. But, O Arjuna, he who, controlling the senses with the mind, performs the path of karma yoga without attachment, he is indeed superior. You should perform the duty prescribed by the scriptures, for action is better than inaction. Moreover, without action, even the maintenance of your body would not be possible, except for actions performed for the sake of sacrifice, yajna. This world becomes bound by all other actions. Therefore, O Arjuna, perform your duty efficiently, without attachment, solely for the sake of that sacrifice. At the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma created mankind along with sacrifices and said, "May you prosper through this sacrifice. May this grant you the desired enjoyments. Through this sacrifice, nourish the gods, and let the gods nourish you in return." Thus, by mutually supporting each other selflessly, you shall attain the highest welfare. The gods, pleased by the sacrifice, shall grant you all desired enjoyments without being asked. But he who consumes these offerings without giving back in sacrifice, that person is surely a thief. The virtuous who eat the remnants of sacrifice are freed from all sins. But those sinful people who cook food only for their own enjoyment truly eat sin. All living beings arise from food. Food is produced from rain. Rain originates from sacrifice, and sacrifice is born of prescribed action. Know that all actions are born of the Vedas, and the Vedas originate from the imperishable Supreme Being. Therefore, it is concluded that the all-pervading Supreme Being is always firmly established in sacrifice. O Partha, he who does not follow this cosmic cycle established through tradition, who does not perform his duty, is a sinful man, living in vain, indulging only in the senses. However, the one who delights in the self alone, who is satisfied within the self, and is content within the self, for him there is no duty to perform. Such a great soul has no purpose in this world in performing actions, nor does he incur any loss by not acting. Moreover, he is not dependent on any being for his personal interest. Therefore, without attachment, always perform your prescribed duties to the best of your ability. For, by performing actions without attachment, a person attains the Supreme. Even King Janka and other wise men attain perfection through action performed without attachment. Therefore, keeping in view the welfare of the world as well, you Jews should act. Whatever a superior person does, others follow accordingly. Whatever standard he sets, the entire human society follows. O Arjuna, for me, there is nothing in all the three worlds that I am required to do, nor is there anything unattained that I need to gain, yet I am always engaged in action. For, O Partha, if at any time I were to stop acting diligently, a great harm would occur, for people follow my path in every way. If I did not perform action, all these people would perish. I would be the cause of creating disorder and the destroyer of these living beings. O Bharat, just as ignorant people act with attachment to action, so too should the wise act, without attachment, desiring the welfare of the world. A wise person who is established in the self should not disturb the minds of the ignorant who are attached to actions. Instead, while performing all prescribed duties perfectly himself, he should encourage them to act in the same manner. In reality, all actions are performed entirely by the qualities, gunas, of nature. But one whose mind is deluded by ego thinks, I am the doer. But, O mighty armed one, he who truly knows the difference between the gunas and action, the wise man, understands that the gunas operate among the gunas themselves, and thus he is not attached. Those people who are highly deluded by the modes of nature remain attached to those actions. But the wise one, who knows everything well, should not cause disturbance in the minds of those ignorant people. Dedicating all actions to me, with your mind fixed on the indwelling Supreme Self, free from desire, free from possessiveness, and free from grief. 5. Those men who, free from fault-finding, and with faith, always follow this teaching of mine, they do are freed from all actions. But those who, out of ignorance, do not follow my teachings and criticize them, know them to be deluded in all knowledge and ruined. All beings are governed by nature, that is, they act according to their own inherent qualities. Even the wise act according to their nature. Then, what can suppression achieve? Each sense has attachment and aversion to its respective sense objects. A person should not come under their control, for they are great obstacles on the path of one's welfare. Better is one's own duty performed imperfectly than the duty of another well executed. It is better to die in the performance of one's own duty. The duty of another brings fear. Arjuna said, O Krishna, then why does man, even unwillingly, commit sin, as if impelled by some unseen force? The blessed Lord said, it is desire, born of the mode of passion, which becomes anger. It is the all-consuming, sinful enemy of this world. Know this to be the enemy in this context. Just as fire is covered by smoke, a meteor by dust, and a fetus by the womb, so too is knowledge covered by this desire. And, O Arjuna, this insatiable fire of desire, which is a constant enemy of the wise, obscures their knowledge. The senses, the mind, and the intellect are said to be its seeds. Through these, it deludes the embodied soul by veiling its knowledge. Therefore, O Arjuna, first, control the senses and slay this sinful desire, the destroyer of knowledge and wisdom, with great effort. The senses are said to be superior to the body. The mind is superior to the senses. The intellect is superior to the mind. And what is even beyond the intellect is the self. Thus, understanding the self, which is transcendental, extremely subtle, powerful, and supreme, and using the intellect to restrain the mind, O Mighty One, destroy this insatiable enemy called desire.
With this, the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita comes to an end. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it insightful. Don't forget to check out rest of the chapters in our playlist. And for more such enlightening content, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.